everybody, my name is Robert Morgan. I came to Canada with my family here in 1968 when I was 4 years old. I went to school here, but my family decided some years later to go back to Egypt, which we did, and it was between, I grew up between here and Egypt. I went to Concordia University to start science, Faculty of Science. I started here in Concordia, then I went back to Egypt. I continued my studies in science at Cairo University. I graduated and I transferred to medical school there. I graduated medical school in Egypt from Al University, Cairo University. I graduated from there. I worked there after I graduated, I finished my internship in Egypt. Then I started working there. I did my year in, you have to work in the government for a year to get your specialization in a certain field of medicine. You worked for a year, so I worked there. And then I continued after that to do my master's degree. I did a master's in pediatrics in Egypt as well. I worked there for a few years, about 5 years, 6 years. During that time, I was doing my master's degree, which I finished in pediatrics. Then I decided I wanted to come to Canada again, which I did in mid-90s. Around the mid-90s. When I came to Canada here, it was by myself. I started here to look for work. It was mid-90s. It was just after a major recession here in Canada. There was really no work, and they did not want doctors working from foreign medical graduates. It wasn't an all easy time. There were not many opportunities, so I decided, you know what, let's go back to university, let's look for work there, which I did. I passed a few years that were really rough at the beginning. I worked at the university, at McGill University, in transplant immunology lab. I did study for my master's degree here again. That took around 5 years. During that time, I was living by myself in a 2.5 very small apartment. After those 5 years, I started studying for how to go around getting my licensing exams, which I took around the late 90s, beginning 2000. I graduated, I went to Université de Montréal. I got my residency there. I passed my equivalency exams, the evaluating exams, Q1, Q2, everything. That took me around a year and a half, 2 years maximum. I got my equivalency exams, I got my residency. I worked in the South Shore. During that time also, I got married to a Canadian, a Greek by descent. The Mediterraneans are very close to us culturally and in their ways. I didn't find that many differences, especially that we're Orthodox. Our belief plays a huge part in our lives. We tend to always gravitate towards our belief, our church, that keeps us very grounded, very firm in life. It guides us a lot. When I first came back and I was living by myself, that was a very important part in my life. This is what kept me going, basically. When I met my wife Angela, that was one of our basic things that our belief system was similar. She was very attached to the church, her Greek church. I was very attached to my Coptic church. But we found common grounds that we were both Orthodox, we were both very attached to church. I continued working in medicine up until I was 50 years old. And then I decided, you know what, enough. Working in medicine, it was really too much work, and I didn't have enough family time. So I decided to retire or take some time off medicine, which I did. And at the same time, my wife started a real estate business a few years before, and real estate management and development. So I decided, you know what, that would be, business is the way to continue life with that. So that would give me more time with the family and more time for church and more time for friends, which I did not have before. Work is really very demanding in medicine in Canada, in any other country as well.